Welcome back, folks. Another week of the Hastings Tiger Sports Show where we run down everything going on with Hastings High Athletics. I'm Greg Mays back again, and my little brother Tren. Tren, how you doing this week?
Oh, we're doing good.
No games to watch. What'd you do all week?
Oh, no games to watch. Husker basketball on Wednesday, Husker basketball on Turkey Day, Husker football on Friday, Husker basketball yesterday. No games to watch.
All right, you've been watching Nebraska. How'd the basketball team do?
They are 2-1. They lost to a good Nevada team, and they chuck a lot of three-pointers. So near and dear to my heart. What?
That's what you like.
I like chucking three-pointers.
All right.
And they look good. You got to look up on the roster. You got to look on the internet to find their roster because they only got one returner. So Thor from Iceland.
Oh yeah.
But
all right. Well, we're going to be talking basketball this week. We're going to go right to our first guest, Coach Drew Danielson, who's taken over the Tiger Boys basketball program. Talk to him about the season coming on. Hi, Coach.
Hey, Coach.
Coach Mays, Tren Mays. Good to see you guys.
Yeah. We
finally have you on.
Yeah.
We finally have time for you.
Did I hear you say you like 3-point shots?
Oh, I like three-pointers.
Okay. All right. Now
ask him his basketball nickname. Ask him what his basketball nickname is.
Oh God, what is my?
I want to know.
He is the chucker.
Oh yeah, I am the chucker.
Yeah. He just chucks them up.
And that can probably go a number of different ways too.
Yes, it can. It can.
Three-point line came in my sophomore year in high school, so
there you go.
That was the weirdest line we'd ever seen. So
there you go.
Well, all right, Coach Danielson. First of all, welcome to Tigerland. Second of all, tell us a little bit about where you've been. Give us a little bit of your background.
Yeah, so played college basketball at Hastings College. Graduated there in 2015. Spent a year in Elkhorn teaching elementary PE, coaching the freshmen, helping the JV, going on varsity buses. It was a long basketball season that first year in Elkhorn, but learned a lot. Then for the last 4 seasons, spent out in Cozad. I was a head boys coach out in Cozad. A lot of good people, a lot of good kids out there. We kind of built that program up, and now fired up to be here in Tigerland. It's been a good couple months here getting to know everybody, and fired up to get the basketball season going.
It's an exciting time of year, when you're walking in the halls and you can hear the balls bouncing in there.
Oh, yeah.
Getting ready to go. And I know your boys have been in there for several weeks, putting in some time, getting some shots up. How do you feel like the off-season buy-in was from your guys? I know it was weird.
Yeah, it was definitely different. Coming in this summer, and not only me being new, but having a new coaching staff. We wanted to obviously get a hold of kids and get some stuff in the summer. We got a little bit, but like you said, it was just a different summer. But I've really been happy with, the kids coming in this fall. The relationships that we've already built this fall, talking and getting ready for the season. So I feel very confident, just very confident going into next week and really getting going.
All right. Well, tell us a little bit about the Tigers. I mean, we know a lot of the pieces from last year's team have moved on, but we know a few of the guys. I mean, Brennan Whitty played a lot. Jared Sinek played a lot, and Landon Jacobus played some. Where are those guys sitting, and what are those guys doing for you right now?
Yeah, I tell you, our senior class is just a neat group of kids. I mean, you guys saw them on the football field all fall. They're just a neat group of kids. They're very close bonded, high character individuals. And then, so you talk about the inexperience coming back a little bit. When you tie in high character kids into a good program, you're going to get some good results. So Landon Jacobus, Justin Musgrave, Brennan Whitty, Jared Sinek, Austin Nauert coming back out and playing basketball, Gabe Garcia coming back out and playing basketball, Roddy McLean. It's just a very good group of senior kids that, kind of want to finish off their high school career the right way. And then Juniors going down the board. Braden Schramm's going to play a big piece for us this year. A couple underclassmen. I really like our top 8 or 9, 10. They really fit together. And like I said, led by that senior class that had a very successful football season.
All right. Well, it's going to be tough for people to get into games at first unless they're a direct family member.
Yeah.
But we're going to stream all those games out. What kind of style of basketball are people going to see? As long as everything goes well.
When we hopped on and Tren was talking about 3-point shots, I got giddy a little bit because that's the new style of Tiger basketball that people are going to see. It was a scrimmage last night, but we had 21 3-point shots made last night in our scrimmage, and it was a 4-quarter game, and we shot it pretty well. So we want to get up and down. We want to have high energy. We want to play fast. We're going to be physical on defense. We're going to keep teams out of the paint, but we want to play, 65, 70 possessions on offense. That's what we want to do. We want to get the ball up and down the floor, shoot the 3, get to the hole, inside out looks. But really, we want to play with confidence. I don't want the hesitation on the shots. If we're going to make a play, it's going to be 100%. But very fast tempo, very fun tempo. So it should be fun watching Tiger basketball this year.
Good deal. I'm sure the kids are liking that. Kids always like that fast-paced basketball.
If my high school coach would have told me I can shoot 3s and play fast and then keep people out of the paint on defense, man alive, I would have had a fun high school career. So yeah, kids are having fun with it.
I just wanted my high school coach to tell those guys to pass it to me. That's all.
Yeah, there you go.
They passed it to you. What are you thinking? Of course, you were only a 6'2" center in Class A. They passed it to you.
They did once in a while.
Oh.
Sometimes they would make me take the ball out of bounds. That way I would throw a pass.
So, Coach Danielson, how is sub-districts looking? Did you guys move?
No, we're still be same sub-district, GI Northwest, Lex, and McCook.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh, wait. No, but that's new, Coach Mays.
That's new for the girls, Tren, but not new for the boys.
All the boys were west, so okay.
Yeah.
But that's not bad.
I think I like our chances there. Yeah. Northwest is going to be pretty good again. Lex loses a little bit, and then McCook should be pretty good again. So, yeah, I like our chances there of doing that, yeah.
And you don't have to go to McCook, so.
Right.
That's always
big
fun drive.
Big deal, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, we got a few drives to make, but, of course, in Cozad, you traveled a few miles.
Oh, man, Ainsworth one day, turn around, Valentine, Chase County, everywhere, you betcha. Yeah, the travel's not I'm pretty used to.
All right. Well, another big part, last spring when I knew we were looking for a basketball coach, the only thing I said to people is, hey, we got to bring somebody in who can build a whole program from the bottom on up. And I see all around the community signs of your Rise Youth program. Tell us a little bit of what you're doing with the kids who aren't to high school yet.
Yeah. That was something this summer. When we got here to town, that was number one on my priority list is we've got to get our youth program going. And being in Cozad the last couple of years and on the outside looking in, just the community of Hastings, you've seen some really strong youth programs developed, just not really on the boys' side of Hastings High. And so that was top on my list. And so the first thing was the signs. We had to get our message out. That we were first out doing something so we could get kids into a gym. But once we kind of set it out, our program, kind of what it was going to look like. I still remember that first day, I got about 100 signups in through email. It was just crazy. So we had 157 kids sign up for our Rise clinics. They were supposed to be on Thursday nights. Unfortunately, we had to cancel due to COVID, but we had 157 kids that were going to be in a gym, 5 Thursdays out of November. And so it was just, it's a really good start on that. And then the other side of it, we formed our Rise Hoop select teams. And so we had 65 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade teams kind of formed. And there's some really good dads and families in those grades right now. And so my coaching staff, we came in and led those practices, taught a lot of our read and react stuff on offense and talked some defense. And I feel like, now they're playing YMCA league games and middle school league games. And just watching them the last couple of weeks, you can definitely tell that we're coming and we're getting better. And those kids are so bought in. They're so excited. They've got brand new jerseys on. They've got wristbands on. They got signs in their front yard. So really, really pleased as far as what we've been able to do with that youth stuff.
That's awesome to hear. You don't know. I did the math on when you graduated from Hastings College, so now I know how much older I am than you. I'm not going to reveal that number, but I had to do some carrying.
There you go. Yeah, carry the one.
But I was the 8th grade boys coach in a life a long time ago, and the thing about Hastings basketball in the 90s was I would have 60, 65 kids show up to try out for my 8th grade team. And the first thing I would tell them is, hey, I know you all can shoot it, because this is a town where people have been playing enough basketball where you can shoot it. You're going to have to play defensive rebound to be here. When I came back, looking both on the boys and girls side, when I came back in 2008, that had kind of disappeared. The kids weren't playing enough when they were young, and all of a sudden we weren't getting those numbers. So I'm just excited to see you getting those kind of numbers and ginning up that kind of enthusiasm for Tiger basketball.
Right. And really, for me, taking this job, I obviously analyzed it, pretty good, but it's a gold mine.
Yeah.
Hastings High School is a gold mine. And the fact that if you go back and look at the history, not just in boys basketball, but in everything, the boys basketball team has been to state 59 times.
Yeah.
That's the most in the state in all classes. I mean, if that's not history and tradition, I don't know what is. And so the gold mine piece of that is, if it worked before, and similar, not to start an argument or anything, but this Nebraska football too, it's worked in the past. How do you tweak it to make it work again? Because different programs aren't going to work at different high schools. But, you take that tradition and you go up and down our record boards and you see the names on there, and it's definitely a system, like you said, when the numbers are up, when you got good numbers, and you should, in your programs, good things are going to happen, having the tradition, the backbone that you have for Hastings High boys basketball.
Yeah. We have the facilities here. I mean, practicing, you got to love practicing here. I mean, that was one of the things I loved. There was never a drill I couldn't do because, I got the hoops to do it. The population of the town, there's plenty of opportunities for kids who want to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
There's a nice demographic mix, of kids. And I think you're absolutely right. This is a great place to coach basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I do have one gift for you. I've been holding out.
You bet.
On that all-time state tournament number, how prep is nipping at our heels. And you're obviously feeling a lot of pressure on that.
We got to get that up, don't we?
Yeah, because they're coming.
But
I'm holding one thing for you. The NSAA is wrong. They gave prep a 1932 state tournament appearance that really belongs to Creighton High.
Okay.
But we're not going to call them unless prep catches us.
Gotcha.
If they catch us, then I'm going to call them and knock them back behind us. All right.
Are they at 57?
Yeah, they're right there. So I got 1 year I can give you, and then you got to take care of business.
Gotcha. Sounds good. We can do that.
All right. Tren, you got anything else for Coach?
Oh, not really. Just can't wait to watch these threes get shot. I hope they go in.
Hey, I'm just glad that we figured out our parking spots, Mr. Mays.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we can come to school now and not bicker about the parking spot. So you and I, buddy, we're on the same page.
It was nice to
out by each other.
Yeah, he took over the spot next to me, and then he decided to take mine. But last week he had the nice large trash can that blew down from the north doors to mark his. And there was a chance if the trash can was still there, it was going to end up in his parking spot. But I didn't get that accomplished. But, Coach, I think you're the right hire. We needed a young guy, and you definitely have brought enthusiasm to the halls, and definitely with the little kids. I like Beatrice. I always go back to that, Coach, when he would spot kids playing hoops. I've seen more kids this fall out shooting on driveways. Mm-hmm. I have a bunch of kids that live down 9th Street from me, and last week they were pretending they were Jarrett Sinek out throwing the pigskin around, but they've been out with their little friends playing hoops and stuff, and I think that's because of you and stuff, and I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
Basketball coaches needed a little youth because that guy over there is old. So.
Well, I appreciate that, buddy.
All right. Well, Coach, we'll get you back on the show hopefully later this year with some game film.
You bet.
Maybe you can
break
walk
that down
through a quarter of how the Tigers are putting the ball up and down the floor.
You bet. Hopefully up and down the floor and in the hoop too.
And in the hoop, yeah. Don't get me worrying about that. But, all right. Well, thanks, Coach, and we'll see you soon.
Coach.
Yep, appreciate it.
All right, that was Coach Drew Danielson on the Tiger Sports Show. Getting ready. Tigers open up next week at home with Seward on Thursday night. We've got restrictions in place, only direct household members of the players and coaches, I suppose. You think I can get Ann to come to the games, Tren?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. I'm working on
I
that.
don't know. So. I don't know if she's going to be coming unless we promise to be ahead by 20. But we open up with Seward and Crete, and we're going to do everything we can to stream every game at as many possible levels as we can, because we know there are going to be people who can't get to the games until we get this virus turned around a little.
I know 2 interested parties that I know that are interested with your reserve basketball. So we're going to try to push that and do some streaming, I think. So.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to be ready to stream for a while, though. You know, I like what Nebraska's doing. You know, I wish we were more aggressive, but our numbers took a decent turn the last couple weeks. Hopefully we head in the right direction and we keep sports going. We made it through the fall season, but I think the indoor sports are going to be a lot bigger challenge.
Yeah, I'm not planning on going on the road, so
yeah,
I'm gonna stream as much, and I think with our strive and almost everybody streams, so hopefully they'll even put more of an effort.
I think you'll see that from the schools. I think you will. Of course, basketball is not the only winter sport going on around here. We've got some exciting things. We got the defending state champion, double state champion wrestling team, and Coach Nolan Laux. We're going to get hopefully Coach Laux and maybe a couple of wrestlers, maybe our favorite linebacker.
Oh, wow. That would be huge in a few weeks.
Yeah, we should get Blake Davis on here.
No dual state championship this year. They've added an extra weekend of, I think an extra weekend of districts, almost sub-districts, and to the district meet 2 weekends. So there's no dual state championship. They've added another day to the state tournament in February. So I love how the NSA is being proactive, looking at this stuff down the road to keep the kids active and stuff as much as we can. So
yeah, keep them playing. You know, a few things about that. You know, that the Tigers are going to be the defending dual state champions just for another year. We just get to continue being the defending dual champions. But also that's just a great thing. It allows fewer wrestlers, fewer people to have to be at those 2 rounds of districts now that'll be spread for the weekend. I know it's going to be tough. You know, there's no greater ceremony in Nebraska sports than the Walk of Champions at state wrestling. And I know it's going to be split now, 2 classes at a time. But again, the NSAA and the wrestling people do a great job with that. So hopefully maybe next week we can get a wrestler or 2 in here to talk a little bit about the Tigers. We also have swimming going on. Coach Scribner has got the Tiger Swimmers. And, of course, Tiger Swim program is a cooperative effort. We got some athletes from Adams Central and St. Cecilia, kind of a community effort, which in swimming is the only way to go. Heck, Papillion and Papillion La Vista South Co-op. So you got to have a couple schools. And Coach Scribner's been doing a great job of raising our competitive level. I've got a couple swimmers in mind for next week. We'll get them in and hear how those things are going. I know both the wrestlers and the swimmers have already seen some scheduling changes this year because of what's going on in Lincoln with the shutdown. If you don't know, folks, Lincoln, Lancaster County high schools did not start winter sports practice. The health department there put a moratorium on it for 3 weeks, so they won't start practice till December 7th. So I know our swimmers have already lost their early season big meet. They usually go to Lincoln Southeast. That's kind of a big highlight of their early season. The swimmers have already lost that. And the wrestlers, the big meet for them in December is always the, what do they call that? The Heartland. It's over in Grand Island, Tren.
Flatwater Fracas.
That's it, the Flatwater Fracas.
Yeah.
And they're going to 1 day with that. I'm sure it's because there's no Lincoln teams going to be ready to come in on December 18th, I would assume. So they're going 1 day on that. So that's another thing I guess I would tell the people is keep an eye on the Tiger website and the official schedules up there. Mrs. Douglas will keep those updated because I just know in my planning for basketball, we just know that we're going to have some games that we lose or get moved. And so people want to keep a close eye on that schedule. All right, Tren, you ready for me to take my host hat off?
Yeah, I'm ready to try this. We're talking with head girls basketball coach Greg Mays. Coach, you have 4 starters back, 7 lettermen. You made a district final last year. Expectations have to be high. How is preps going? Getting ready for Thursday.
Oh, good, I think. One thing I've learned, you can tell with me sharing a screen with Coach Danielson, I'm an old guy. One thing I've learned as an old guy is I don't really know what's going on. Things feel good for me preparation-wise, but you don't really know till the rubber hits the road. I got a great bunch of girls. I love going to practice with them. They've been working hard. They don't bat an eye at effort things. They don't bat an eye at criticism because they want to get better. And that's about as good a thing as you can say about a bunch of athletes. I think we have the potential to be a really good team, and I haven't kept that a secret from the girls. I've kind of challenged them with it. We've got the chance to be a really good team, but nobody hands that stuff out. You got to break down the door. So they got to do what they need to break down the door.
Yeah, and you've always talked about how you're not really in charge of games and practice. You're in charge of fun. In the last couple of years, is that still true? About being in charge of fun?
That's what I always try to be in charge of because games are for fun. Practice should be fun. Now practice once in a while, the girls have to be in charge of fun. I'm in charge of prep, but come game time, yeah. And this is a really well led bunch of girls. I've got a couple seniors. I got a bunch of seniors, but especially my most experienced, my returning starters, Daisy Seeley and Lauren Heinrichs, just a great set of leaders. Daisy's more vocal, Lauren's more by example, but they're a great bunch, and they do a really good job of getting things done. And we kind of have a tradition of that here, where those girls take the lead as far as setting the standard. And so we hope that continues this year.
How many girls do you think you're going to have in your rotation? 4 starters back, 7 returners. Any number on how many girls you think you're going to play?
I don't know. We know we got 7. We know we've got 7 who can play, and then we've got some question marks. Okay, how do the rest of these girls fit in? We talked a lot. We know they can help us, whether that's going to be at practice or in games. Combination, how much it's going to be in games, it'll come to be seen. But those 7 returners played a lot of basketball last year. They'll play a lot this year. We got Daisy Seeley will handle the ball for us, play the wing, slash hard to the hoop, take the tough defensive assignments. We've got Lauren Heinrichs who'll be kind of our control factor inside, both offensively and defensively, as our big post. We got a couple junior starters coming back, KK Laux and Mackenzie Long, who have hit some big baskets for us. Mackenzie's coming back after having average double figures. I always tell Mackenzie the best thing I can ever say about an offensive basketball player is they're greedy. Mackenzie loves points, and she's always looking for ways to get them. And, KK has just hit some big, big shots for us and really did a great job last year of learning game control and game composure. She just came a long way there. So we've got those 4 to build around. We lose Daleen Heinrichs, our senior from last year, who played a lot, and Jaden Sheets. But we've got some girls ready to step in. Nyagor DeWong is a senior who just has had a great offseason, Tren. You're going to love to see Nyagor's game. Nye loves the game of basketball. She is always trying to sneak in a gym, sneak in a game, just a gym rat, and she's really come a long way. She's really gained some confidence in her physicalness. that she's big and strong. I think she tried to play outside too much in the past, and all of a sudden she's realized she can go to the hoop. She's still a good shooter, but I think she's going to make a lot of things happen for us going to the hoop and rebounding. Then we got Maddie Hilgendorf, a junior who played kind of inside outside for us last year and really probably played starters minutes if you look at that. And so we got Maddie coming back. She hits some big shots, does some big work for us. Really solid defender, and again, somebody who just loves the game of basketball. And then we've got sophomore Charlie Coyle, who kind of played on a part-time basis last year, but by the end of the year, she was moving into minutes, and she ended up lettering. And Charlie's just bigger and stronger this year, playing more confident. I really like the way she's playing inside. She did a lot of outside work last year for the JV, so we think she's a very flexible player too. And so that gives us 7 people who are really flexible about where to go. Then I've got a batch of seniors who, like I said, are gonna help this team. I really, in my talks with them preseason, Riley Burrell and Grayson Ozowski, Aubrey Sweely, and Brittany Oshner. Got so many seniors, it's tough to keep track. They haven't really played a lot on the varsity level yet. We'll see if we find a place in the rotation for them to help us out. But the one thing I can really count on with those girls is they'll make us better, whether they're deep in the rotation or not. They're just a great bunch of girls, great teammates. I think they're really coming into the year with their eyes open, and they're going to be a big help. And then we picked up a few bonuses. Sophie Cervani, Alex Curtis, and junior Delaney Mullen all came back out for basketball this year. Well, back out. Delaney played as a freshman. Now she's a junior. Alex played as a freshman and sophomore and just had terrible luck injury-wise. Took last year off, and she's back. And then Sophie Cervani hasn't played since the 8th grade. But, you guys, them from softball season. There's some great athletes there. And one thing I did when they called me this summer, we got a lot of girls out for basketball. And I really think part of it is they sat home during the shutdown. And I think a lot of people said, I'm going to do stuff when I get back to school. I want to be involved. And they called me. And, you're always kind of leery of older girls coming back out. But I had a real chance to just watch them during softball season. And one thing I saw is they're great teammates. They're great teammates. So they're going to fit into this team well. And they're going to help us, whether that's on the floor rotation or at practice. And so I'm just excited to have all those girls a part of our program.
I saw Sophie in her uniform. She's wearing 13. One name came up, and that was Mel Patrick. Just a physical specimen, or I don't know. I was just caught off guard by.
Yeah, she's a great athlete.
Yeah.
She's a great athlete. Her basketball skills are a little rusty. You can imagine, but she has worked hard to work on those every single day. I've been very happy with her practice, and you just know from seeing her, run over outfield fences and make catches, that this is a girl who can make athletic plays. And so, yeah, we're excited to have her involved in the program. 13 was her softball number, so we thought we would just keep that number right on her.
Yeah, this year you added a new coach to your roster, Coach Simmons. We know him, us old-timers know him as Coach Cheddar. How is Coach Simmons mixing in with the coaching staff, and what will he add for the Tiger girls?
Well, he loves basketball too. He's a guy who loves basketball. He talked to me a couple times over the last few years that maybe he'd be interested in getting involved on the girls' side. He'd never coached girls. I tried to tell him a little bit of the differences and the samenesses. A lot of it is just basketball. But I know there are a lot of things about the girls' side that I really like. I thought he would enjoy it too. He's just jumped right in. He's a real teacher of the game. He's working with Coach Hamilton with our reserves, but gives us just a very solid reserve coaching staff who can really get some things done. And that's good because they got about 22, 23 girls they're working with. They got a lot of girls to teach the game of basketball. So it's exciting to have Coach Simmons join Coach Hamilton. Of course, I got Coach Vanderpool running my junior varsity again. Just a fabulous young coach. I really like working with her, and she's done a great job of finding places, that she can step in and take over. She's been very aggressive about that, which really helps me. Because I am getting a little old, as you mentioned, once in a while, Tren. And so she's done a lot of great things to take some pressure off me. And then we've, of course, got our producer and little brother, Tate, who's my varsity assistant. And he does a lot of the scouting work, a lot of the leg work for me. I'm just really lucky to have a fantastic coaching staff.
Oh,
yeah. You read the comment from Mayor Studi?
Well, it's good that the mayor is watching the show this week, and that's a blast from the past.
Indeed, it is. We were going to have to dig up some 1995 Hastings Panther middle school football with Mayor Studi playing some offensive line,
running a counter sweep, 26-27. Got one more question for you.
He was always our quick tackle that we pulled, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's the one we usually flip-flopped, and you loved your counter sweep, and then.
Oh, whoa! He's a politician. Don't say flip-flop.
Oh, whoops, sorry.
Yeah, all right.
So I got one question left. Sub-districts changed. Last year we were with GR Northwest, our friends up there, Aurora and York. We gave York a good push. They got some girls back. So where are we sitting sub-districts this year? I think there's
it's going to be really weird to say I think this is a better sub-district, because I'll tell you, all three teams in our sub-district, McCook, Lexington, Holdridge, they're all better than last year. They're all on the way up. So, it's, I don't know, 6 of one, half dozen another. On the other hand, that old sub-district, York's probably going to be the number 2 team in the state to start the year, behind the Norris Titans, I think. Yeah, I think so. We'll see when people who know more about that than me start rating them. But I think York's going to be one of the best teams in the state. Northwest is not going to take as big a step back as people think. And Aurora's probably a team that's on the rise a little bit. So I don't know. You're going to have to earn it that time of year.
Yeah.
So, the biggest thing for us, we want to have a little better December. We went 2-4 before Christmas last year. We'd like to reverse that, 4-2, good grief, 5-1, because that's going to go a long way towards hosting that sub-district, which we didn't get to do last year, and then hosting a district final, which we just missed out on last year. If you look at last year's schedule, you look at those December games and the way Seward played the rest of the year, you're like, how did Hastings lose to Seward that first game? And you add that to the Kearney Catholic game, which we really had won with about 2 minutes to go, and we gave it away. We win those two, we would have hosted the district final. Now, that doesn't automatically mean you win it, but I would have liked to have hosted that district final. So December games are huge, and we're preparing for them like they're huge.
And then former Hastings High grad coach in the Holdridge Dusters, Coach Runcie. He was at St. Paul, so a little Tiger connection there. And
yeah, the problem with him, he's a good coach.
Yeah,
I don't like seeing that.
He's that girl.
I'd like to see them hire guys who don't know how to coach. But, he's a good coach, and he's working hard down there. They really took some great steps forward last year, and I'm afraid to say they're going to continue to. They aren't on our regular season schedule yet, but they'll be on our Periscope. We'll be watching them because they're going to be a good ball club at the end of the year.
Yeah, so just good luck to you, and we'll see how. At least you don't have to go on that Western swing this year.
Yeah, we'll have Alliance and Gehring coming here, and so that's week 2. Right now, I tell you, with the virus, we're going to get. I think we're going to get our opening games in.
Yeah,
I think we're going to get that week 2 in, and beyond that, I'm not promising you anything. So, folks, keep your social circles small. Wear those masks. Let's do everything we can to keep the pressure off our hospitals, so the kids can keep going to school and keep playing.
That's all I got.
That's all you got. Well, I think that's all we've got for the Tiger Sports Show this week then. We've got a couple things still coming up. We aren't totally done with the fall. We're going to need to have our all-state show once we get all the all-state teams out. We're still waiting on football, Tren.
Yeah,
Think we're going to get anybody on those teams?
Oh, we might. There's an outside shot. So
I think we're going to have some fellas on there. Just an amazing fall. Another thing we can talk about a little bit is how this fall fits into the last 3 years, where the Tigers have just had a ton of experience, ton of success. So we'll talk about that coming up. But I think we got to have an all-state show, and then of course, starting next week, we'll have some basketball film to watch.
yeah, and there was all Tribune came out. Independent came out the last 2 days. Still waiting for the big ones, the Lincoln paper and the Omaha paper and such. But I think you'll see some Tiger football players on those teams.
I do too. All right, folks. Well, that's a little bit of what we got coming in the next couple weeks. Until then, take care of yourselves. And what do you like to say at the end, Tren?
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Thank you.